analysis. So without wasting much time, I'd like to hand over to Mr. Anaafi. I'm available for questions in the chat box. So if you need any clarification or anything, you can just drop it in the box and then I'll put them together and they'll be addressed as and when. Thank you all for joining and I hope we have a wonderful time. Mr. Anaafi, please, over to you.
Thank you very much, Phyllis. And thank you very much, Benjamin, also and the team joining for the topic today, Demystifying Data Analytics, your pathway to a data-driven career. So this is a FredExcel webinar in collaboration with CompTIA. And as Phyllis said, we have resource person, myself and Benjamin. So I will start, and when it delves into more of CompTIA issues, Benjamin will come in. I don't know if at this stage, Benjamin would like to also come in for us to hear his voice. Then I'll take over then. The presentation starts. So at least attendees will be aware that, yes, Benjamin is also online. So Benjamin, if you can hear from me.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Fred. I'm glad to be here and look forward to an exciting session. Great to see everyone here, and I look forward to interacting further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. We really appreciate your support. So let's move straight to today's topic, Demystifying Data Analytics, your pathway to a data-driven career. So the housekeeping rules. If so, the moment you enter the room, at least you make sure that you mute your microphone. If you are not speaking, respectfully participate in the communication, which has to do with use the chat box for any answers. We have our resource people there who answer any question in there for you. We need to stay engaged, and it's an open forum, so we also learn from each other. So those are the housekeeping rules. What to expect. There will be a teaser where you have to imagine, then presentation. There'll be a pools. So please get your phones and your laptop or web browser ready. There'll be some links where we'll have to do some pools. There'll be Q&A. And at the end, there'll be also a surprise package. Please, so in the chat box, the first one, that's what comes to mind when you hear data analysis or data analyst? When you hear of data analysis or anything about data analysis, what comes to mind? You can put that in the chat box. Please, what comes to mind when you hear of data analysis? Okay, so we have samples saying that Google numbers, Excel, some saying working with numbers, sound decision making. What comes to mind when you hear of data analysis? You can put your answers in the chat box. Golda is saying summary of data. What comes to mind? Wow, people who earn a lot of money. Interesting. Okay, so we'll get to know more as we proceed. I like the question. People who have a lot of money. Okay. Making decisions with data. Some are also saying from my WhatsApp page, some are answering and saying that fine, when they hear of data analysis, what comes to mind is future robots, AI, IT, computers, yes, data, critical decision making. Sure. Let's proceed. Okay. Now there's a data-driven decision, the power of analytics. Now, I just want us to imagine. I'll just read a short statement. So imagine that you are the CEO of a global retail chain, deciding whether to invest in marketing campaign, targeting young demographics, or optimizing your supply chain to reduce cost. The right choice depends on insights from your vast data. You have a comprehensive report from your data analysts filled with charts and statistics. One analyst points to younger customers preferring online shopping, while another highlights potential cost savings from supply chain optimization. Your challenge is to interpret these insights and make the best decision. This is where data analytics comes in. It helps transform raw data into actionable insights, guiding decisions like marketing strategies and supply chain improvements. In this webinar, we will explore the importance of data analytics, data literacy, and the skills needed for success in data. Whether you were a businessman, a student, new, you don't even know anything about data, I can assure you that you will learn how to use data to drive business at the end of this section. Now we'll take a poll. Have you ever encountered a situation where data analysis could have been helpful? You can scan and vote directly on screen. The result will show. So you can scan, or if you are using a web browser, you can type in join at slido.com and use the number 4107426, and you can answer. So the question is, have you ever encountered a situation where data analysis could have been helpful? So I'm waiting for attendees to respond. So you can scan the barcode or use join. I haven't seen any response yet. Because this is a live one, so the moment you respond to it, it will show on the screen. Okay, so we have 33% saying no. Okay, 75. So we have just a minute to complete this. Okay, so which means that at least we have encountered situations where at least the attendees, we have a majority have encountered a situation where data analysts would have been helpful. Okay, so at least we know the attendees we have for this webinar. Now, what does a data analyst do? In today's data-driven world, information is king. We are all in a technology-driven world where data is all around us. But raw data is not always helpful. That is where data analysts come in. They are the detectives who uncover stories hidden within your data, transforming it into actionable insights for businesses to strive. Data analyst people, they collect, they analyze, they clean, they report on a plethora of data that an organization gathers and transforms it into digestible format for stakeholders to make an informed decision. That's what data analyst people do. But what are the essential roles of a data analyst? For a data analyst, it comes with, you must have the skills set for learners looking to specialize in this discipline. And you need to know how to clean data, prepare data. In that, we are talking about filtering and handling missing values, preparing data set for analysis. We have data exploration and analysis. We have the visualization, and we have the reporting, also telling a story. At this point, let me just say a story about a young man who came to have a national service with FredExcel Consult. So he came in, learned a little bit about FredExcel. So when he joined us as an intern, it was a straight intern for 3 months. Through the internship, at least he picked up some skills in data, basically using the tool Excel, and he got a better understanding of tables. Now, after the intern, he had the opportunity to do a national service. At the national service stage, because of his skills with data, at least he was able to secure a job at the national service in an oil company. How did it happen? Simply the boss was handling the data, which he was not able to really manipulate or understand or make meaning out of it. And the work they were doing was taking them close to a whole day or sometimes 2 days to complete this exercise. But as he was doing his national service there, the opportunity came for him to work on that data. And it took him less than at least 5 minutes to analyze the data and complete it and submit it to the boss. And through that, he was able to secure a job in the oil company. Though he had other colleagues in there, but it gave him the opportunity because of the skills he had in data analytics to secure that job. Now we have the many phases of data analysis. The data analytics as a discipline has experienced a pendulum swing. Many of us initially thought that when you talk about data analytics, it has to do with only IT or the IT experts that people really understand data analytics. But now it's not limited to only IT people. Data analytics cut across all spheres of industries. So we have business analysts, we have marketing analysts, we have financial analysts, we have healthcare, we even have customer insight analysts, we have HR analysts. Data is everywhere. And what it means is that you need to understand data to make meaningful decisions in all industries, in the energy sector, in the health sector, in the financial sector. Everywhere data is needed. So it's very important that we understand data. Now, data analysis in action. Where can we find data or data analysis? Where is it being used? Data is being used in all spheres of life. Now, in terms of the retail, it helps us to understand customers buying e-commerce. In the energy sector, it helps to optimize energy usage. Finance uses data analysis to predict market trends, and at least you're all aware of that. When it comes to finance, even analyzing your income statement, you need to have a good understanding of data. Now, the future of data analysts is bright. The demand for skilled data analysts is high and is expected to grow even further. And note that as artificial intelligence and machine learning evolve, data analysts will be able to process even large and more complex data sets. And this is why you need to abreast yourself with data analysts. The ability to translate complex data insights into compelling stories will be the key differentiator for a successful data analyst. Now we go to the key data fluency, a key to success. Now, in the data literacy, data acumen, and data fluency has become more popular. Data fluency is the ability to interpret data, create and communicate information in data. It is akin to being fluent in a language, where one not only understands the word, but can also use them to convey complex ideas, engage in discussion, and absorb information from others effortless. Now, if you look at data, and let me bring your mind back to what we know as STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, data is also being considered as part of STEM, which means that in any industry, it's one of the basic things one needs to know to at least survive in the kind of world we are. You need to have a good data literacy, a good understanding of data. Now, the rise of data. Data is everywhere. Everything we do involves data, and the volume of data is exploding. Just a decade ago, we were generating over 10 zettabytes of data annually. Today, the number is projected to be nearly 18 times larger. This data deluge from a variety of sources, and it's fundamentally changing the way we live and work. Data is really growing. Data is moving up. Everything we do, it's data. Now, where does all this data come from? We are on social media every day. Now, we spend most of our time on social media, either watching YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp. It's all data being gathered. Social media, that's where we get the data from. Sensors, sometimes we are traveling. We are using the GPS. We are using Google Maps. They are all picking locations. That's information. That is data. We are checking our temperatures. Now using our Alexas. All is about data. Even in transactions, we are doing electronic transactions. Now we do more transactions on, at least on our part, we do more transaction on Uber when we are doing the transportation. We are using our cards in the banks, online transaction, Momodia, all data and information being picked. Sometimes we're even called to fill up or complete surveys. And this surveys happens when at least we purchase something or something happens and we really need to really check, or let's say give a feedback. All these are information or data being collected, and all is about data. Now, how do we make sense of all this data? How do we make sense of all this data? This is where data fluency comes in. It's not just about understanding numbers. It is about using data as a tool. Data fluent individuals can interpret information, ask insightful questions, and communicate findings clearly. They can't turn raw data into actionable insights. They can't turn raw data into actionable knowledge. Now let's talk about what is data fluency, or why is data fluency important? Now, we should know that data is the new currency, and data fluency is the key to unlocking its value. As we move forward, the ability to understand and leverage the data will be essential for success. So embrace the data revolution, develop your data fluency, and be part of the shaping a data-driven future. Data is here to stay, whether we like it or not, because everything we are doing, we are really channeling data out there. And it's important that we all continue to grow. By developing your data fluency, you will be well positioned to thrive in this data-driven world. Embrace data, ask questions, and unlock the power of information. Let me also share a story with you with one of our trainers. When we were engaged by a corporate organization to train senior HR officers. And in the course of the training, we were delivering training on how to analyze data. And in the course of the training, we had about 5 models. So when we were on the 3rd model and we completed that particular session, one of the HR, who's an executive, a senior person, said that fine, for her, it's okay with the training in terms of analyzing data, and that whatever tool or whatever skill he needs to use to really be efficient at her work, she has gotten it. So she doesn't even need the 4th and the 5th model. She's fine. Because at the end of the day, she wanted to understand a peculiar or a specific stuff to really solve his own problem or challenge he was facing at the workplace. That's why I always encourage you that it's very important that you become data fluency and understand data and know how to work with data. Now let's talk about preparing for data analysis role. We are looking at the employer perspective and also the analysis perspective. Employers need confidence in candidate skills and competency to ensure effectiveness in demanding roles. Similarly, students must feel confident, that's me and you, in the ability to apply the skills in real-world scenarios. Now let's take key considerations. Now, you need to develop a program foundation that covers these essential skills to acquire these data analytics skills. You need to ensure that analysts have the comprehensive skill set to really drive this. Now, it's very important that we know where to go to gather the skills of data fluency, or if you want to be a data analyst. Certification and skill development is very important in here if you want to acquire the necessary skills. In terms of certification, it plays a crucial role in demonstrating that you are competent in data analytics. And one of the good examples of data analytics certification is the CompTIA Data Plus certification or curriculum, which is a fundamental and an entry level if you want to understand data. And it's a non-neutral vendor and supplier of certification, which means that it's not biased towards a specific industry, let's say, tailored to, let's say, only IBM or only Microsoft, but it gives you the basics which cut across all specialties, whether Microsoft, whether IBM, or whether AWS. Now, the benefit of certification, it boosts confidence in career potential, and it promotes equity in job markets by providing a recognized standard skills. I think concerning the certification with CompTIA, I would maybe want Benjamin to come in to at least talk more about the CompTIA certification and what CompTIA does. And maybe I'll come back in again or add if I have anything to add. So maybe I'll leave here for Benjamin to come in and talk more about the CompTIA certification irrespective of Data Plus and what even CompTIA itself is about. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. This audience has been quiet. They've responded to the questions, but I want to ask them some more questions as we proceed. So I'm going to talk about the CompTIA intervention that is being prescribed to this. I like that, Fred, you have talked about data fluency. And just to lighten the moment a bit, anyone in the meeting can tell us an answer to what I'm about to say. If I say this, you're supposed to say something. So, bonjour. What is the response to that? Well, that's your take. What do the other members of the audience think? What is the response to that?
Bonjour.
Okay. Well, I am not an expert, but here's the point. When Fred was talking about fluency, data fluency, I thought of, this is very appropriate because we are in the digital age. And that language, just like now, some of us seem to understand this is the greeting in French. So similarly, when you're looking for opportunities, you need to be fluent in the language of data, right? In this digital age. So that is the point. That you cannot be considered serious if you go out there, you're looking for that data analyst role, and you do not speak the language. Now, here is how CompTIA can help you speak the language. We have been told about this Data Plus course. This is an early career data analytics certification. This is for professionals that are tasked with developing, promoting data-driven business decision-making. So, because data fluency, as has been highlighted, you want to have someone empowered, this data analyst, empowered to make informed decisions, solve complex problems. You want to drive innovation, you want to communicate effectively, you want to advance your career. So Data Plus enables you to have what is relevant. And what is mastered in Data Plus. In Data Plus, you are introduced to data concepts, right? And environments, right? What is a data schema, right? What are data schemas? What are dimensions? What are these common data structures? You're introduced to those concepts. You're introduced to data mining, right? What are the data acquisition concepts? Again, this was highlighted by Fred when he was taking us through the journey of what does this data analyst actually do? So you get introduced to data mining. What are the reasons for cleaning and profiling what we call data sets, right? How do you execute data manipulation? So these are skills that you gain when you study Data Plus. You are also introduced to analysis, data analysis. Now, in analysis, you will apply certain statistical methods, right, to summarize. And again, there are different types of analysis. So you get introduced to that. And another very important thing, which I think the best example of is when Fred told us about someone who was in a role and they were able to put together some data and it made sense. They were able to present this data. So you learn also about visualization. How do you translate business requirements to create the appropriate visualization? I'll give you a quick example. If you know anyone in finance, if you know anyone who is in an organization, however big or small, there is lots of data about their business, lots of data about the transactions, and every once in a while, they are required to give an idea of where do things stand, as a business. Are we making profit? Are we okay? Do we need to look for more funding? So they need to present the specific information to the relevant team. So they will need to visualize this instead of going there with an Excel spreadsheet showing lots and lots of data, which will be difficult to communicate quickly if you are presenting that kind of data. Now, finally, in Data Plus, you also get to cover governance and quality. So you're looking at data governance, quality, and control. So what are those data governance concepts? How do you apply data quality control concepts? So that's what you cover when you decide to cover, when you decide to go through this course called Data Plus. And just to highlight as well that CompTIA, something that was already mentioned by Fred, our content is vendor neutral, right? When you're learning all these concepts that I've just highlighted, the concepts, the mining, the analysis, the visualization, we do not, in our courses, not just Data Plus, any of our courses, we do not take you to a specific vendor. We do not just highlight. This is how you visualize with vendor X. No, this is how you do analysis with vendor Y. No. It is presented, all our courses are presented in a vendor neutral manner. That is how we do it. So that's what we cover in Data Plus. I think I have highlighted Data Plus. Do you want me to go to Data Sys Plus or that's for later, Fred?
Maybe that would be for okay, so maybe you can briefly touch on that then. I wanted to find out, maybe just do a short post to find out those who have heard of at least CompTIA. Then maybe you can come to at least tell us what CompTIA is. So I just want to have a fair idea of our audience of those who are aware or have heard of CompTIA. So if that is fine, then I'll push our, okay. So then please, have you heard of CompTIA or had any experience with CompTIA? If yes, you can just scan and just let us know. I just want us to know at least the our demographic. Are we or have we even heard of CompTIA? Have we taken any courses with CompTIA? And if no, have we taken an exam? So you can quickly scan and just let us have a better understanding of our audience. So you can try. So you can just scan the code or just go to slido.com and put in the number 4107426. Yes, okay. So at least I guess we have people who have heard of CompTIA. So at least CompTIA as a neutral vendor is not new in our market. Okay, we have, so now it looks like 50-50. We have 50 people saying they haven't heard of CompTIA. So you can just scan the barcode you can see on the screen, or just in your browser, just type in slido.com, hash, the number 4107426, and you can quickly vote. We just have 30 seconds to end this poll. Okay, so. Okay, so we have at least, okay, so the votes are still coming in. We have 30 seconds more, so 10, 5. Okay, so good to go. So we have 20% of people saying they have not taken any CompTIA exams, and 50% saying they have not heard of CompTIA, and also 50% saying that, okay, so it keeps on changing, but at least you have a fair idea of the people who have heard of CompTIA. You can see that some people have not heard of CompTIA. So maybe Benja, I would like you to come in and maybe just tell us, so at least you can satisfy the market who are saying they have never heard of CompTIA, which is quite a number. So if you can tell us what CompTIA is, we'll really appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So CompTIA, that's what we call it, CompTIA. So yeah, now you notice that the TIA is in capital letters, and it is not a typo, right? So for those who do not understand CompTIA, it is the Computing Technology Industry Association. So the TIA, Technology Industry Association. So it is the largest IT association in the world, founded in 1982. And we have members in this association who you definitely know. The members include Amazon, Google, Microsoft. Those are part of this association. And the association is one of the most respected organizations where people begin, build, and supercharge their careers. If you speak to people who are at a certain age, you know, they started their careers in the 90s in technology, they will tell you they know about CompTIA because they must have 1 or 2 certifications, or they must have done a course from CompTIA. So CompTIA is also the leading provider of vendor neutral certifications. I talked about the vendor neutrality earlier. And so far across the world, we have over 3 million people who are CompTIA certified, right, across the world. Now, the discussion that we are having today, as introduced by Fred, when he was talking about this particular course, Data Plus, he talked about, and when he was describing who is a data analyst, what do they do? Now, he highlighted, you know, we are talking about a job role, which is data analyst, number 1. Number 2, he highlighted that the job role requires certain skills and capabilities. So the certifications we have at CompTIA, all of them are aligned to job roles, all right? And today's focus is, of course, on data. Now, CompTIA is highly regarded for its career pathways. We also have pathways for cloud, cybersecurity, and like we're discussing today, data. So that is CompTIA in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe at this point, since we now have a full understanding of CompTIA, maybe we can have some questions, if there are some questions in for us. So Phil, if you can check whether there's some questions for us to answer. Or Benjamin, if there's anything you want to add to, you can. But as we wait for the questions to come in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As we wait for the questions, let me also just clarify. Today, we are in this particular webinar because our partner, okay, FredExcel is a CompTIA delivery partner. CompTIA does not. We are headquartered in the US, as you saw on the slide. We are headquartered in Illinois, and we do not necessarily, go everywhere to deliver our courses and certifications. We do so through partners such as FredExcel. So a delivery partner is a partner who has, number one, met requirements of being a representative of CompTIA by delivering the various courses and certification exams. You can purchase the vouchers, you can come and study any of these courses through our delivery partner. So they have met certain requirements, part of which are, one of the things that we do is that for our delivery partners, for you to deliver any of our courses, for you to take somebody through training, you must have been certified. The trainer has to be certified in that specific area so that they can adequately prepare the learner properly, so that the competencies and skills expected are actually, there by the time this person is going to sit for an exam. So going for your training, when you choose to train anything on CompTIA, you are highly encouraged to go to a authorized partner, delivery partner such as FredExcel, and because they have fulfilled the requirements of being a partner, number one. Number two, sessions like this are organized to make sure that, one, you have an awareness. What is happening? Where are the opportunities? Where are the job roles that people can prepare for? And what are those steps that you can take to prepare for those job roles? And lastly, I can mention, when you do undergo training from a partner, you are going to undergo the training using official curriculum, official content, and tools. We have labs, we have content that is from us. We are the source. So you are not going to go through some third-party funny content, and then when you're preparing for the exam, you have to go and look for more content so that you now align your knowledge with the exam expectations. So that is something that I think is important for us to understand. So if you hear anyone wanting to go or pursue any CompTIA course, recommend a CompTIA authorized delivery partner. And our partner of the day is in your territory is FredExcel, who has put this webinar together. Back to you, Fred.
Yeah, thank you very much, Benjamin. So there are some questions in the chat. So I don't know whether Phyllis will read out, or if you can pick up the questions, Phyllis.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred. We have some questions here in the chat box and then our other social media platforms. So the first question is, what is the process involved in becoming a data analyst, and how many months or years does it take to be one? The second question is, can the training and certification be taken entirely online? I think you addressed the first one, and then I'll share the others with you. Thank you.
Fred, can I take the second one?
Okay.
Yeah, let me take the second one about the training and certification. When you speak with a delivery partner and understand, you've not specified the specific training, but the thing is, all our training is available and can be conducted online. However, for best results, and depending on your schedule, your goals, right? Like you want to start your journey, or you already have some experience. So this can work in two ways. One, if you are an individual, I would highly recommend have a chat with the team, and they're going to guide you, like, where do you start your journey, right? That's one. Secondly, if you are in, you're working in an organization, you're working at a bank or someplace, and there is a large group. When I say large, I'm talking about roughly, in the hundreds, right? Through delivery partners such as FredExcel, they can administer some assessments to first establish what are the gaps. What are the gaps based on the job role? You might have someone handling help desk, someone handling security, all manner of roles, someone handling data. So if you have, you come from a large company in the hundreds and you want to help, you want our partner to help you with planning intelligently and, basically maximizing on the training for a bigger group. Then one of the ways that our partner can help you is because they are a CompTIA partner, they have access to certain assessments that can be administered for the team and then now help you to create a training plan across time. So that is some value addition that only you can get from a partner such as FredExcel. Yeah. Good to you, Fred, for the first question. Or if you had another question for that is CompTIA specific, Phyllis.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. Just a minute, please. So please, you can follow us on social media as well and share your questions there. FredExcel on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So the other question is, how long does it take to become a data analyst?
Okay.
And then,
So can I take that?
okay, there's a question in the chat board that you needed to address. That is, what is the process involved in becoming a data analyst and how many months or years does it take to be one? So if you can address that quickly.
Okay, so then I'll pick the 21. So
the second one has been answered by Benjamin, so you can just help us with the first question.
Okay, so the time it takes for one to become a data analyst varies depending on one's starting point and the learning pace of the individual and how the person is dedicated, at least in learning and gaining the experience. Example, if the person has a bachelor's degree or a good understanding of data, have some courses related to data, at least the time it will take that person will be quite a short time compared to someone who is also new. And the bottom line is depends on the commitment of the person. So far as the person is dedicated and determined to roll on, the length of time it will take the person approximately can be between at least 2 to 3 months dedicated time. You can really take the Data Plus course and also get certified as a data analyst. If the person already has some experience in data, then it might take a lesser time or a lesser period for the person to complete Data Plus certification.
Okay, thank you, Fred, for your response. I hope that Kofi, your question has been answered very well. So we have a last question here on our page on Instagram that we would like to discuss. It says that, what is CompTIA and why is Data Plus certification valuable in the IT industry? I think Benjamin has done justice to it, but since it's been asked again, if you can just summarize everything for us, the importance of Data Plus certification will be great for Benjamin.
All right. Thank you, Phyllis. Yeah, so like I introduced CompTIA when I was highlighting, to those who may not know CompTIA very well, and I said that we are the Computing Technology Industry Association, right? And as a leading provider of vendor-neutral certifications that we do research, we update the content. So the first thing I would say is you, by doing Data Plus, you're setting yourself up with a solid foundation, for the rest of your career as far as data is concerned. You're setting yourself up on the proper foundation because one, it is vendor neutral, right? So you will have an open mind. You're not going to be closed to only following through with a specific vendor's prescription of, data. You will not have that that one-sided view, right? Now, another very important thing that one should consider is you're preparing for a job role, right? Fred has done a very good job of giving us a breakdown of data analysts. What exactly do they do? Now, when you're looking at a job role, you will definitely now go to the next step of there will be someone who is not a data expert, right? There will be a HR who is requested in the bank, in the telco. We need data analysts, right? They'll be told, here is how to shortlist. Do they have this certification? Do they have this experience in years? Have they worked in sector XYZ? So there's going to be that description of the people that should apply. Now, here is where you being certified matters, right? When you have many applications to a specific role as a HR, the first thing you want to do is to eliminate. You cannot possibly go through every single response that comes as a HR, for example, even if you're going to do it digital, on LinkedIn, through other means. So there is simply no way. So when that shortlisting is happening, okay, so long as you are certified, you have a CompTIA certification that is aligned to that job role. If it was the data analyst and they've asked for data plus or data sys plus or data X, so long as you have shared, I possess, then you stand a chance of still being among those people who will be given that chance to showcase, to present themselves and to say, yes, this is why I am a good fit for this role. All right. So that's on the paper, right? That's on the paper. You want to make sure that you get that opportunity. And how does that happen? By being known. You beat everyone else because person A, person B will come and they will try to explain how they have the skills, but you have a certification that is recognized worldwide. So I think those are some of the things why you would consider CompTIA certification.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. I guess I can see a question also asking that, can you take the training online? Yes, you can take the training online, 100% online, in person too, you can take it. So yes, you can take the certification online and even take your exams also online because it's protracted by person view. So yes, you can take the course online. Now we'll move to the second phase, which is the surprise. So this is a surprise package. FredExcel is offering a free training for the first 2 domains of the CompTIA Data Plus, which has to do, which Benjamin mentioned, has to do with the mining data and manipulating data on the 6th and 7th of July, purely online. Those interested, at least you can register via the link showing on the screen. So in here, you have the CompTIA program interest. You can scan and sign on. We'll get in touch with you with the necessary process. As I said, it's free, at least for the first 2 domains. Don't forget that when we mentioned the CompTIA program, there were about 5 domains, and we are willing to at least introduce you to the 2 domains. And you can now proceed on to take the rest and at least get yourself also certified as a CompTIA Data Plus. And as Benjamin said, CompTIA is internationally recognized, non-neutral, and covers not specific to a particular industry as Microsoft or IBM, but cuts across all the industries, which now gives you the basics and the grounds for you to understand data. As we said, data is taking the face. AI is relying on data. And now data literacy, it's something everybody needs for you to understand data. We are all using phones, we are using smartwatches. It's very important that you understand what data is all about. You can also use the link here, that's what I'm highlighting here, to also sign on. I don't know if Benjamin, you have anything to share from any colleague, or if anybody has a question where you want to unmute and ask, you can also unmute yourself and ask any question you want to ask.
No, the thing that hit me, I didn't know about the surprise. Indeed, it is a surprise for me.
Yeah.
But I think for the attendees, you are basically being asked to come in the Data Plus buffet, but you can only have the first 2 items. So this is really great. Well done, Fred and team. And if I was a member of the audience, I would definitely sign up because this is an opportunity for you to do a test drive, for you to sample what exactly is this course all about, and what do I benefit if I attend. So yeah, this is a very good offer, a very good surprise.
Thank you. So please do well to really sign on. We'll also put it in the chat. Let's try to put it in the chat. Let's see how quickly I can just put it in the chat. So if anybody wants to ask a question, the person can unmute and quickly ask the question. If not, then Phyllis, you can take over and can bring the meeting to an end. So I've pasted the link also in the chat. So if there's no question, then Phyllis, come in.
I think there's a question.
Okay.
Kofi is asking if the recording of the webinar will be made available.
Yeah, so far as you sign on and get in touch and request, why not? We'll make it available. We'll also publish it on our YouTube channel, and you can also find it on our social media pages. So yes, we'll make the video available. So it will be on our social media page. You can find it on our social media, anything FredExcel, you are on YouTube, IG. We are also on Facebook. Website, you can get us on FredExcel.com. Our WhatsApp only number, you can see that, and also phone call. So yes. So over to you, Phyllis.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. It's been insightful. We are grateful to our resource person, Fred and Benjamin, for the wonderful delivery. But I want to add that we have a platform where some of these videos are shared, and then other exciting videos and educative videos are shared. So please try and take the WhatsApp number, get in touch with us so we can add you to the group, and then inform you about subsequent meetings and other offer surprises that we have. So thank you so much for joining FredExcel in today's webinar. This is just the beginning of many surprises. So please get in touch with us. Let's train, let's excel in our various organizations. Fred, if you don't have any closing remarks, then we can just sign out.
Okay, thank you very much, team. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Thank you very much, audience, and who has participated. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So thank you very much, and have a good evening, and take care.
Okay, au revoir. Please
Bye.
link up FredExcel.